Today, I want to begin by giving you an update on our overall government response to support families, workers and businesses during the COVID-19 Alert Level 4 lockdown. First and foremost, it's about health. What other definition of unity is there than a nation that has gone home to save the lives of our most vulnerable as the virus circles the globe? And without a doubt, the most important thing the government can do during this time is to help keep people in jobs, with money coming in and a roof over their heads. The $25 billion of support announced to date will cushion the blow of COVID-19 by supporting incomes, jobs and businesses and positioning the economy to recover. While other countries are spending billions over months and years as the pandemic found a foothold across their populations, we took action early with few cases, and we're going hard now, along with injecting money directly into our economy. The wage subsidy is keeping employers and employees connected to one another during the lockdown, so they are in the best position to reopen and kickstart the economy on the other side. As at 11 p.m. last night, the wage subsidy scheme has seen $4.8 billion paid out in the last 2 weeks, helping nearly 800,000 New Zealanders, 120,000 of whom are sole traders or self-employed. And to put a human face on that, the owner of 2 shipyards in Whangarei wrote to me yesterday to say that they've received the wage subsidy, close to $300,000 in their case, and that means that they can keep their full workforce on 80% salaries until they start again. And they have a plan for the future about how to scale back up quickly from zero to normal income within 4 to 6 weeks of the lockdown. And now they are turning their attention to the Business Finance Guarantee Scheme, the government-backed loan scheme from their bank to cover their operating expenditure. And that's what our job is, to provide cover through this time. That cover also extends to supporting the 6-month deferred mortgage scheme for homeowners affected by the virus so that people don't lose their homes due to COVID-19. We've also put in place tax changes to improve cash flow, doubled the winter energy payment so older New Zealanders can stay warm during this winter, with that payout beginning from the 1st of May. We've seen the main benefit increases that came in this week. We've also got rent freezes and a ban on terminations of tenancies or evictions other than in exceptional circumstances. All of these are important in making sure that New Zealanders can get through this crisis. It is also well acknowledged that New Zealand was well placed to build back up after the lockdown. Today, Moody's credit rating agency reaffirmed its highest AAA credit rating for New Zealand, saying that our economy is expected to remain resilient, backed by the government's strong fiscal management and our flexible economy. We encourage all employers to do as the Whangarei Shipyard Company has. Hold on to your people. Give them the wage subsidy if you need to. Don't make rash decisions during this time, and have a plan for coming out the other side. I also expect all employers to work in good faith with their employees and to follow employment law. Those laws have not been changed. Employment law stands and we must all abide by it. Health and safety law still stands and we must abide by that too. Today I can announce that the government will be introducing legislation to make changes to the Companies Act to help companies facing insolvency due to COVID-19 to remain viable and keep New Zealanders in jobs. The temporary changes include giving directors of companies facing significant liquidity problems because of COVID-19 a safe harbour from insolvency duties under the Companies Act, enabling businesses affected by COVID-19 to place existing debts into hibernation on agreement of at least 50% of their creditors until they are able to start trading normally again, and allowing the use of electronic signatures where necessary due to COVID-19 restrictions, and extending deadlines for company meetings and annual returns. These measures support the government's work to cushion the economic impact for New Zealand and to support businesses and to protect jobs and incomes. They will also help increase certainty and provide practical assistance to business owners and directors, but they must not be seen as a workaround for the obligations that businesses have to creditors or the responsibilities of directors to act in good faith. We know that, whether real or perceived, the threat of a director being held personally liable for a company's solvency problems will likely make them inclined to advise closing down a business. A safe harbour will help them keep trading rather than prematurely closing up, which will minimise disruption to the economy as much as possible. The proposed move to place existing debts into hibernation will give businesses the space to talk to their creditors about prioritising paying some debts and deferring others for 6 months. The legislation to make these changes will be introduced to Parliament as soon as possible and will be retrospective to today. It is inevitable that some businesses are going to go into liquidation, but these measures provide an accessible and pragmatic means of helping some businesses to weather the storm in a way that does as little harm as possible to their creditors' interests. And again, I urge businesses to talk to creditors and banks and remind them about the government's wage subsidy scheme and business finance scheme.